All right, so the convention is over. That was a very tough week last week for me. Lots of work that I had to do. Lots of fun stuff happened, but it was a lot of work. And it was a passion project that I absolutely loved. A few really cool things happened. Some not cool things happened to me personally in terms of getting injured, but we'll go over that in a few minutes. So basically, 2 weeks ago, Friday, Saturday, I did training for the staff, which was really cool, nice and easy. Nice and easy for them. And then on Sunday, I had the day off. Didn't have to do anything. And then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I was basically coordinating things, making sure that the drivers could get the guests, making sure that the guests were taken to where they needed to be. That was really funny because when the first guest got to the airport, everything was good. We just had the gate wrong. We fixed it. And then the second guest got to the airport. I was listening to liveatc.net, and I was texting the other person, and I was like, all right, the flight has intercepted R&F for runway 5. And then I put the flight level and everything in the message. And then she responded, what? And then I said, clear to land, runway 5. Which was absolutely hilarious that I was literally sitting there listening to liveatc.net, knowing who was on the flight, which I'll do that for Friends flights too. If I know the Friends flight and I know I'll start from tower all the way through to tower, or from ground all the way through to the next ground. Interestingly, K-Buff is tower, approach, and ground. It's not departure, though. Power, approach, and ground are all on one at K-Buff. And then Buffalo departure is separate. Actually, I think it's Detroit departure. I don't really know for sure. It's weird. Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I was watching The Craft Room, which was super fun. Then Thursday, we had our regular meeting. We played some Exalted for my group. For the other groups, they played their games, played some Magic the Gathering. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we had the convention, and it was epic. I got to run my capybara panel. Right now, my friend is editing the second version of it, which wasn't as good as the first version because I was exhausted. I was genuinely exhausted by the end of the day Sunday. I spent all of Monday and Tuesday in bed other than when I watched the Mariners play, which was fine. Friday was pretty good. We didn't get to set up as nearly as quickly as we wanted to because unfortunately we didn't have the rooms we needed in time, which is fine. But we've made some plans for next year to make that go better. Met the voice actors. They were awesome. Got to see some of their panels. They were awesome. I didn't get to see the whole thing, but I did. Got to participate in the Nerf war for a little bit, which was really good. I realized my Nerf gun is nowhere near good enough, so I'm going to get a better Nerf gun next year for the Nerf war. Saturday, get there at about 7 a.m., do a safety walk, everything's good, have everybody there, we have some breakfast, we get ready, everything's going good, and then a dog pooped on the floor, so we got that cleaned up, and everything got taken care of pretty quickly. But I was just like, what? Because I wasn't in the space when it happened. I had just gone to the bathroom, and I hear a dog pooped on the floor, and I'm like, what? I had actually been planning on going to play Artemis, which is a game I love that's been at this convention for years. But I'd been going to play it, and I was like, oh no, a dog pooped on the floor. I have to deal with that. Thankfully, maintenance cleaned it up, but still, it wasn't fun. Then after that, I did my capybara panel, and I went to the cosplay contest, and the cosplay contest judges were like, listen, you have to wear shoes during the cosplay contest. You won't be docked for authenticity if you're entering that portion of the contest. And somebody said that's discrimination, and I still can't believe they actually said that. And we were like, that's a school rule? Also thinking, that's how you get ringworm, which we didn't want to do. And then that went pretty well. My capybara panel was amazing. Loved it. Unfortunately, there wasn't a live capybara. Laura Stahl and Koi Dao were both interested, but they were actually doing signings during it, which was pretty cool that was happening. It was pretty epic that was happening. Now, then the next thing that happened was I go sit down. I'm getting ready to have dinner, have pizza. Bring the pizza down. Open up the volunteer chat on Discord just to see if there's anything important. And I just see a big message that says, someone is coding at the rave. And my immediate thought was Code Blue. So I grab the 5 people who are with me and we run to it. And I'm like, the AED's here, blah, blah, blah. Everything's good, blah, do it. Where do I need to go? And then the person who sent the message said computer coding. They were computer coding at a rave, which, what? So then I banned the word coding in chat, unless it was an actual medical emergency. We had a phone thrown at a brick wall. It destroyed an OtterBox. I was absolutely shocked. And then I had a fall during the day, scraped my knee, and I was wearing knee-high boots, and I didn't have high socks with them. And unfortunately, I ended up injuring the back of my legs. And then the next day, Sunday, my friend walks up to me and says, Samantha, you're bleeding again. I'm like, what? And I look down. Turns out I've gotten a shrapnel wound from something being thrown in a recreation. The OtterBox got further destroyed. It was a super easy fix, but it was absolutely wild that happened. Met David Vincent. He's really cool. He unfortunately was only able to attend for 2 days because he had an autograph signing in Massachusetts on Sunday. And that was not good for him because the people who booked his flight screwed up and booked it under the wrong name, and it was a mess. So we had to get him to the airport a little bit earlier than we expected so he could go rebook his flight. But, you know, that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But he was here. He did some really cool stuff. Everybody loved it. The rave went well. The voice actors went well. I super enjoyed what I got to see. I spent some money in the vendor's room. Spent $36 on magic cards and a little bit on art. A lot of pixel art, Charizard and sword earrings, which was really cool. Next year, I plan on spending more money, actually having money. I'm going to go to, next year, I plan on going to Snowfest at RIT and Toricon and this one, obviously. But next year, I should be working and I should have my channel monetized by then. But yeah, right now, this week I've spent catching up on sleep, catching up on some schoolwork that I missed. I didn't miss much. I missed like one assignment, and it was a super easy fix. I was like, oh, it's a discussion board post. I thought it was like a big assignment, and that's why I didn't do it. And then I was like, oh no, it's just a discussion board post. So I wrote a discussion board post, and I was like, huh, okay. That was interesting. It was a really good discussion board post, really good topic. It was about using comics, and I was like, yeah, I'd use this, but I want to add to it, and I would be like, I want to add it and use it in part of my multicultural lit. I'll see what people say, but I think that definitely, like, you can use comics in ELA classrooms, but I think using it as multicultural and bringing in, like, manga for it would be amazing. Or bringing in anime. The first anime I ever watched was Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, but in school we watched an anime about the atomic bombings of Japan, which was sad. Very, very sad, but yeah. There's a lot of anime, cool anime stuff coming up over the next little bit. I'm currently watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I plan on making some videos about that over the course of the next little bit. I'd watched a little bit of Jujutsu Kaisen before I'd met David, but now I plan on watching the whole thing because it is really a good show. It's got good fights, good lore, good magic, good demons. I think it's a really cool show. But yeah, the convention was great. Lots of cool things happened. Lots of fun happened. I am definitely excited about the one that's happening next year because it's going to be even better. We have a million ideas for what we can do next year. And a million people who want to help. Well, not quite a million people who want to help, but we have people who saw what we did and were like, yeah, I want to be part of this. Which is pretty epic that happened. Another thing that happened was one of my wisdom teeth fell out. I have a consultation on Monday of this coming week with the oral surgeon about my teeth because I need some removed and replaced, but also the wisdom teeth just yanked out. And it was just random. It just fell out of my mouth, and I was like, well, that is a tooth. That's not normal. But overall, UBCon was great, and I am so happy that I got to be a part of it this year, and I'm looking forward to being a part of it in the future, either as a guest, as a attendee, or again as a member of staff.